Whoa, Rodney Dow.
What's going on, Gary Putnam?
Holy cow, man, this is gonna be fun tonight.
Oh, I'm super excited. Get the Missouri man in here tonight. This is going to be awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, I got some great story or things to ask.
Yes, he is gonna be great.
Great. Is Shannon Wise number one?
No, I seen my stuff shows. It shows you can't see Mark Westmoreland's name is first.
Yeah, he don't count.
He don't count?
Oh, okay, I guess he does. That's right. Okay, Mark counts. I'm just
Mark Westmoreland, Matt Zimmerman, Rodney Dow, Junior Surface, hi Junior Surface, Jim Lauer, Shannon Wise, Michelle Renee Slavens.
Nice.
We got a handful rocking already. We got a comment. Who is it? Shannon says, hello, guys. Shannon, I don't think you was first. You're the first to comment, though.
There you go. First at something.
Yep. Brian Wise.
YouTube.
Is right there.
YouTube.
I feel like I'm going to fight this thing. There we go.
Come on now. Watch out now.
Man.
Yeah. Well, what's the deal with Tiffany Putton stepping up her lawnmower game, getting a striper kit? What are you trying to do to me over here?
Well, that's what a step upper does. She steps up.
Goodness. Now I gotta, I mean, golly.
I had a different idea of a stripe kit when she said she got a stripe kit.
Yeah, I saw that. You had it all laid out there. There were some good colors.
Yep.
Is that what color you're painting your Mustang?
Maybe.
Okay. Are you kind of letting it out? You're kind of doing a little preview. Is that what's going on here?
You got something to say? What? The striper poked her head out the door.
Oh, yeah. She stepped her game up, man. Golly. Takes one to beat one. I'll have to go get mine now. This is incredible.
Awesome.
Yeah.
She didn't mow today, though.
I didn't mow today. But when you get yours, you need sand for it. I got sand because you have to use real sand and not play sand.
Okay. Good to know. I'll definitely do that.
I got some for you. So.
All right.
Okay. Waiting on you.
Give me the hookup.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It does look pretty cool.
Yeah. Shannon Wise says she's outdoing us, Rodney. I know it, man. She stepped her game up. I didn't even know about it. Shot heard around the world. You know what I mean? Pow.
I know.
What's going on?
It's bam. Look at this. Here it is.
Gary's holding out on me.
Well, Yep. Well, what's going on everywhere?
Man, there's a lot of stuff going on. There was a little race last week or yesterday. We'll have to talk about that. We'll have to talk about a couple builds going on. We saw, Logan and Brennan kind of shoot that out. And
we got some pictures.
We got some pictures of that. Troy Aves got his car back. That's cool. And from Fox Rod Racing, we'll talk about that. And we got a sneak peek too of at Billman Fabrication and Troy Weens' car, Troy Mike Weens. So, and then we'll get to the legend, Mark. Here in a minute.
Yep.
But yeah, good.
Are you ready to fire off some goods?
Sure. Are you ready? Your little microphone's kicking your butt over.
Well, there was some racing in Ozark.
Yeah.
And I seen a Facebook post.
Yeah.
Jim Lauer says all kinds of info.
Heck yeah.
And I want to tease on this because these are nitrous guys. And James Foreman, that's Russell's son.
Yeah.
So dad wheels a boosted car.
Right.
Next thing you know, son posts nitrous motor for sale.
That's it. It only takes one time. And you're gonna, you're gonna change.
Daddy, I want some boost.
I want some boost. Boost for the win.
Some boost, Daddy. Come on.
Yeah, it pulls so hard on the big end.
So, yeah.
So it's official. I mean, if you heard it here first, then it's official. So
had to throw that out there and play with them guys. They're fun to play with.
Because Foreman wheeled a little Silver Bolt this weekend, right?
He did. Yep.
And who built that car?
Well, the guy that we're going to talk to here in just a little bit.
It's almost like we're playing here.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, I just want to throw that out there and play on the Foremans a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe the nitrous is going down the road.
Maybe. and they had a little bad luck. So it was nice of the Browns to step up and say, hey, let's get one more in the field this weekend.
Yep.
But there's a lot of action going on there. I think a record got broke, and maybe some rain came in. I don't know. I didn't get to see the finals.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Walk through it. What picture you got?
Yep. You ready for the next one?
Yeah.
This is the happiest guy in Sedgwick County right now.
He is the happiest guy in Sedgwick County. He took off work Friday and Monday, and he's been in his garage putting in work. Golly. He's so happy I actually went over there at lunchtime on Friday to check it out. And it was Christmas, New Year's, wedding, so whatever, all in one. It was smiling ear to ear. So that's a cool car to get back on the ground and see it out. He's got a little bit of work to do yet, but he's got a bet with a local hero here that who's going to be first in the 450s. And so we'll see how that plays out. I think at this point, both cars are not only in the garage, but on this screen right now. And so they'll see who's going to be first in the 450s. And it's leaning towards the yellow. I mean, mustard and ketchup is leaning towards the mustard. You know what I mean?
You want to know some more about that?
Let's hear it.
I see Travis Gord watching Zach West, Craven Moore. Hey guys, Craven, Travis.
What's up?
So this car is back at Troy's house. Keith got done with it earlier this week. I finished Troy's oil pan so that Keith could finish doing what he needed to do, so it could come back to Troy's house where it's at now, where these pictures are at.
Right.
And so Troy come over with them valve covers to weld on some breather fittings, and he's walking out, and he got behind the garage. He says, "What owe you?" I said, "Just call that my payment for our bet on the 450s, because I ain't gonna."
You already paid? Is that what I'm hearing?
Because I ain't gonna make it.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Now
That's it.
Oh my goodness!
I said, consider that payment for the bet. But I said, I'll still buy you a bottle of tequila. And
that's what my next question was going to be. I knew there was a drink involved.
I said, I'll still get you a bottle of tequila. And he goes, well, maybe we'll just share a bottle of Crown. So,
all right,
we'll work something out there.
There you go, man. That's a nice looking engine there. Twin turbo setup, Hemi.
Yep, twin bullseyes.
Yeah,
I'm not sure the cubic inches.
Around 430-ish.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Talked about it in the shop.
Okay.
I don't know how much he wants to let out, but he's got 2 hair dryers, not 1.
Yep, 2 bullseye turbos.
Yeah, I think those are 200 millimeter a piece.
Yes, at least. Yeah, 200, 221.
Right, whatever it takes. Yeah.
Yep, he's got a new radiator set up there from Delta Performance Auto Group and a couple of oil coolers.
Nice.
Keith set all that stuff up and mounted all that, and
nice.
Keith done a great job on all that work getting it finished up so Troy could take it home.
Yeah, and he's got it home, and he already told me that tomorrow is a vacation day, and so he'll be out in the garage.
Tomorrow is a vacation day again?
Yep.
Holy cow! Well, good, Troy.
Yep, he'll be out in the garage, and so
good
for him. So, do you still have the covers, or did you just knock them out right then and he took them?
No, he brought them over Saturday morning and knocked him out, and away he went.
Okay, so he's done. He's probably plumbing some line and getting some fittings on there. That was all right.
Yep, he's working.
Yeah. We, like I said, we went to lunch and came back and looked this over, took a few pictures here, and Keith was there as well, and he's definitely been waiting on this day for a minute. This engine's been at the shop for a while. You know how part shortages is and that sort of thing. So it took a little extra time, but he's still got to wire it and that sort of thing. But I know he wants to be out in the fall. I think everybody's kind of shooting towards that September 28th day at our city. So we'll see.
That'd be a good shoot to get out. That'd be a good time to hide in the garage with the air conditioner on for the summer now and get it ready.
Yeah. No, it's a cool car. I think his nick is this the Banana? Is that what he calls his car? The nickname?
Banana.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was thinking. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't
can't wait
know
to see
that he was like a far distance cousin to the Jegs family. I wasn't for sure.
Oh,
which one.
right.
And so, you know, he could
Yep.
probably
I like the yellow and black colors.
that looks good.
Yep. Be cool to see it out. It's been a long time. He's ready to race.
2 years, over 2 years, he said.
He is ready for some smashed gas pedal therapy.
Yes, he's ready to let go of all the buttons.
Yep.
And if you go back and look at that other picture, let's just go back one.
Boom. He's
got 4 buttons in there.
Gee whiz.
I just right now I'm thinking about one's probably for the tranny brake. One's for each turbo, to turn them on.
Oh man.
And
Are
then
you supposed to be talking about this? Are you supposed to tell? Is it a secret?
Yeah, don't tell anybody.
Oh geez.
And then I'm sure the other buttons to back up,
Well, one of them buttons is green. Does that mean go?
Green means go.
Or is that super boost? I don't know.
But he's got all the buttons in there, that's for sure. But no, I did a good job. It looks nice. Hats off to him. I hope he gets it going. Love to see another car out there hanging out, having fun.
Yep, it looks good. They did a good job, Keith and Troy, getting this thing wrapped up. So
yeah,
looks really good. It's really cool.
All smiles at the Abe's house. All smiles.
You ready for another updated local car that's just blowing us away with what it looks like?
I already know which picture it is. This is awesome.
Oh man,
let's see it.
Woo! Look at that. This is Logan Metcalf's car with some new pictures out.
Oh my goodness. Is that thing just sitting right or what? Golly.
Man. Little tires, spindle mount on the front, Hemi, Pro Charger.
Yeah.
Man.
Good. Woo. And aren't these, I'm going to say it, these young men, they're just fabricators. I mean, this is just fantastic what they're doing in this, shop, garage, how you want to say it, you know what I mean? And they're just getting it done. It's just incredible. I know they're both probably, I don't even know, what, they under 25, I mean,
I'm not sure.
They're just
somewhere in that mid-20 zone, I'm sure.
Yeah. And they're just putting in work. Look at this. I mean, talk about a passion, and I just can't wait to see it in person. I need to swing by there. And I don't know if this was one of those deals where they did X work at the Mock's house, and now let's move it back to the Metcalfs, or what's going on. But they took a few of these pictures here, and it looks really good. You can tell the headers are made, and plates, and I think they had to redo some front end bars, and it's just car set's good with that rear end that Tim helped with, and it's gonna be something.
Yeah, I think Brendan probably built those headers, and man, if anybody's built a set of headers, it's a ton of work. And these are probably a very large tube, and probably some 5-inch tube on the exhaust there, and that's a lot of work,
Yeah, that's awesome.
It looks great. I can't wait to see this also.
Yeah, hats off to him. It looks fantastic.
We got some more pictures of it. Woo, look at that. Woo, damn.
There.
What's this car? We know this car has been around for a while. It used to be Stan's car. We talked to Stan a while back.
Yeah.
So the car has had a few facelifts since then, and this is by far my favorite look that this car has got.
Sure.
Just the little tire, the spindle mount. Can you see the wheels? Can you see the wheels very good?
17. Yeah.
They're pretty shiny, aren't they?
Hey, anytime you want to buy me some wheels, you go right ahead. I think the wheels that I have on my car are your old wheels.
Yeah, the front ones are.
Yeah.
Yep. Is this going to be a black car? You have any idea what they're going to do with the color on this?
Do not, but I would assume it would stay this way. I know when I was over there at Ultra Color, they were talking about when they redid some of the inside that they got rid of all the purple on the cage. And so that would tell me that there's, would stay in the same way. But that looks nice.
Yeah, it looks awesome. I love how it looks. A little shot from the back.
Yeah. And I can see in the front there, it looks like they're getting ready to load it. That's what I was saying earlier.
Yeah. Got the trailer door down there.
Right. Yeah. A little bit of work to go, but a nice little, sneak peek, if you will. And, just with the front end on and everything. It just looks so killer.
It looks great. Yeah.
Yeah.
You think it'll be out later this year? Or is it think it's
That's
take the rest of the year?
That's their goal. They want to have both cars back out in the fall. I mean, who knows, but I think they're burning the midnight oil to get it done, obviously,
Yeah.
And so I don't know all the details, but just they said they're working on it. That's what they tell me.
Sure looks good.
Yeah.
Good work, Logan and Brendan. Man.
Absolutely. Go.
Another local car getting some work. This is the Wings Chevy 2.
Right. This is
But you can tell of it. It's just a piece of it there.
Right. Yeah. No, we're not looking at the Mustang on the left. We're looking at this Chevy 2 here. And Troy Mike Wings here, local guys, small tire racing. They, like anything, they took a fender off and it turned to what we see behind Gary. You know what I mean? It just kind of went out and they started taking things apart. Well, let's do this since we have this off. Let's do this. Well, then they decided to go ahead and do a double frame rail. And so kind of got stuck at a chassis shop for a minute and then ended up taking it to Bielman Fabrication here. And so real nice guys here working with them. And, Troy tells me he gets a weekly update of how things are going. I actually sneaked a peek on their Bielman Fabrication page, and you got to see videos and reels of them working on this. And I'm super excited for the family. And, I would think this would be more like next year, try to get it out. But, and they got a couple options. I know they have a big inch nitrous deal, and they got and also a small cubic inch Chevy for a turbo that they're thinking, they could go either way there.
Cool.
But, yeah, super cool to see them and excited for them. I know they're passionate about it and they want to get out.
Yep. Them are great cars. I like how they look.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There's some inside of the back work, some carbon work there.
Yeah. See the whole floors out and all that. And our guests will know the best, just how long it takes to do this fabrication, and all those bars going one way or the other way means something. For me, it doesn't, I don't understand it, but for someone like them that does this every day, there's obviously a method to the madness. And so, but just hats off to all these fabricators like yourself that can, smoke rod and melt rod or whatever you guys call it to make this happen. So it's pretty cool.
Yep, I agree. That's it for kind of car updates and that, and rolling along.
That's good.
We got some Ozark limited 275 info.
Yes.
Look at that.
Was this the shot heard around the world yesterday?
I think so. Ozark Raceway Park put this out earlier today. It says, congratulations to Gary Spaniak III and the Substitute Maverick team for crushing the limited 275 record with a 4:58.31 at 160.71 mile per hours at the Shane McClellan Memorial Summer Shootout. They have Show Me Speed involved and D&J components helping with that. That was a real light 119 60-foot 304 to the 330 and a stout 458 at 160. So what do you think of that there, Rodney Dow?
Hey, I think small block forward to the front.
Man,
that's what I think.
It is.
This is awesome. And, and I think everybody knows, no secret. We're looking at this class pretty hard. You can race limited now in Ozark, or next year going to be able to race it at MAD. You could follow the Titan series right now and race limited. And also the Flying H has limited. So definitely looking hard, especially in a small block world. It's boosted small blocks what it is. Yep. And or if you can run a big block with the nitrous as well. But yeah, drive them up to the lanes, drive them back and let them hang, And so this is just awesome. I'm super excited for Gary on this one. And I don't know who ended up winning this class. I heard they stopped racing midway through it or something because of weather. But this is just got me excited, and we'll see how it plays out. But
yeah, and that limited, like you said, Flying H, Titans, Ozark, and Arc City, where we race MAD, they're going to have that class with Titans rules next year.
Right.
Lots of locations for that. With the rules are very similar. The big change being slicks at Flying H. So, and that's a cool little feature too.
It is, and it makes, like we saw it last week when we were up there. It changes the game a little bit, and I don't know how good the prep was on this deal, but they at Flying H last weekend, it wasn't radio prep, and so guys were running 60s. I'm not sure, maybe 70s, 80s, and so, but yeah, but this is it's pretty cool stuff here.
Yeah, Zach West says limited 275 and going 450s. Us poor guys have nowhere to race.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. It's something else, right?
It's gonna get fast.
Yeah, it is for real, and just that technology and stuff. And what I like about it as well, for myself, I'll just speak for myself for a second. It's hard to run with what we just saw, in the picture before, with the Hemis and that sort of thing. And so that's why I'm looking at this now. I still like running in the Outlaw, if you will. I like running everybody. I have a good time with it. Everybody's super cool and that sort of thing. But it's you're pushing those little motors hard to run with those guys. So cool. I'm excited for Gary. This is awesome.
Yeah, and on this limited subject, Ginger, your dog, sneaked me some pictures.
Goodness.
It's not bad.
Okay. Sometimes you serve stuff up and I'm like, oh crap.
No. What
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Well, just talking about it. So, to run limited with Titans and Mad, you got to have real doors, it says. And so these are my doors that I took off my car 2 years back, and I kept them. I put them up and thinking that they may come back in play. And so, this is the start of my project now to get these doors ready. I weighed them before, and I'm going to weigh them after I kind of mod them, if you will. And I'm going to keep my other doors, because I know maybe in a year or two, they'll probably come back and say, well, you can run any door now. And so I hate to get rid of them. But yeah, so like I said, I was telling Gary, we've been talking about it for 3 or 4 months about this deal. But I see myself going this direction. And so, I'm challenging myself to get this door as light as possible. But like I told Gary, it's going to have a Waffle House sticker on the side. That's how you know it's steel.
That's how you know that Waffle House refrigerator magnet.
That's right. But yeah, that's what I've been working on today. So yeah, there's look at it, Larry, man. He's checking it out. He ain't happy with that either.
Would you look at that weight?
That's 74.8 pounds a side. That's a $150. That's a person. And we got to get that down to like that person number's got to be a 4. Maybe a high 3.
Yes.
And so we'll see how it goes. But that's what I've been working on. And Clash of excuse me, I just said it wrong. Titans of 10-5, at PRI last December, they're the ones that handed us the flyer and said, look at this limited deal. And, we talked about it all weekend. And so, I think it's
I've been talking about it ever since too.
We have, and it's time, and when we're up there checking out Flying H as well, you could see the writing on the wall there too. And for a small block boosted deal. And so, and then the Harper said they already got it funded for next year. So let's go.
And if I haven't thrown out enough hints yet,
I've seen some chatter.
My steel doors, I'm gonna do some more looking on them to see if I can lighten them up a little bit, because those doors, carbon doors right there, are sold.
I see them behind you.
If anything's been a little fuzzy,
it
should start becoming a little less fuzzy.
Right. Okay, that's fair.
So that's
you got a stack of cash in the garage. You sold your doors. Witta came over and bought some training parts. I mean, let's go time. Let's go time. I see the Larry Hunt, Troy Aves, and Marvin Jenkins watching. Matt Ray. Troy, your car looks awesome. We were just showing some pictures of it. Congratulations. I know you're taking tomorrow off too, so have some fun.
Yeah, it looks great, Troy. You want to look at the limited rules real quick, or
let's do that if you don't mind.
This is Ozark limited rules.
These are Craven rules, right?
Yes. Yeah. Ozark specific.
Now, Troy,
there.
Just Just so you know, Gary let the cat out of the bag. I see you just made a comment, so I'm gonna bring it in. Gary let the cat out of the bag that he's already paid you to go 450. So what's up? I mean, you know what I mean? I can't believe it. What's going on? We'll have to check back on that one. You know, you never know here. So
yeah. Yeah, these rules must drive to the lanes and back. So this is a little different than like Titans. Drive to the lanes and back to the scales, but after that, you can be pushed on the scale and be pushed back to the pits.
yeah, right.
We'll still need that bottle. Yeah,
Oh,
I'll hook you up, Troy.
Yeah, no, he already said that you guys are he's gonna get you one or you're gonna split one. So
Yep.
yeah.
No billet blocks or heads. I'm a little curious about the billet hatred. I understand the head part, but I don't get the billet block part. Any fuel, heads up 400 Pro Tree, 275 Pro tire or the Pro Bracket radial, or 29.5 10.5 no W slick or smaller. 28 10.5 no W, a slick or smaller. Yep. Back up only steel roof and quarters. Small block, any single power adder, twins limited to 76 millimeter. Big block, single stage, nitrous, fogger, or plate. No boosted big blocks. Wow, wow. Weights 3,100 for a boosted small block, 3050 for a nitrous big block. No minimum small block nitrous or naturally aspirated.
Yeah, you can weigh anything.
Yep. And then there's pluses and minus weights. You add 100 for methanol or Q if you're boosted, minus 100 for a stock block. The class will be ran later in the run order, so it will not be on lockdown fresh prep.
Yeah.
Cars will run on a 400 Pro Tree 8th mile. All cars must pass tech. No exceptions.
Well, and you know, it's funny that little comment that he made about be run later in the class. That's a real deal. You know, you're not on the fresh prep, and you know, and I know Zach was talking about running 450 is going to you know, shot everybody in the arm, but you know, sometimes when you're on that fresh prep, you know, a 70 is going to go down, 80 is going to go down, and go on to the next round, and because that's a real thing. You know, we hit the tires a couple times at Flying H. You know, luckily one of them was in one of them was in the buy. So, but that's a real deal right there with the fresh prep. You know, the only thing I see, you know, with the billet blocks, that seems pretty consistent. It seems like only Titans and Mad want you to have steel doors. I see he doesn't care about the doors. Of course, there's a little bit of weight you got to put on, but let's see this limited stuff, you know, continue to go, you know.
Yeah. So. Yep. Zach has a comment.
I hear you, man.
Zach says, hell, I wish I could even go 499, but I'm a poor stock LS guy. Get it. I get
that for sure.
Yep. But you're out racing. You're out doing it and racing it and supporting it.
That's it. Cool.
So that's it on the rules. We're going to take a lot of time. We're going to get to Mark here in just a couple minutes. The results from the Ozark stuff. Fodad Racing Media wants to congratulate all the winners, co-winners, semifinals, and finals split from the storm-shortened Shane McClellan Memorial Summer Shootout at Ozark Raceway Park. The Pro Street winner was Chancellor McClellan and Andrew McClellan.
Okay.
Outlaw 10-5. This was a split-up deal. Justin Heckman, Devin Brown, Bob Thompson, and Shannon and/or Stephen Beeler.
Right on.
Outlaw 8.5 was Wes and Kimberly Schote. I said that right. Did you catch it? Schote. And Adam Phillips. Limited 275 is Kent Hager and Ryan Gibbs.
Okay.
So, you know, Gary runs the 450 something, but he doesn't make it, you know. I don't know what kind of times these two cars ran. But
yeah. Well, that's what we're talking about.
Racing happens, you know.
Exactly. Gary's Kimberly Schote, Wes and Kimberly, they have that bronze third gen.
The maroon.
Maroon, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Schote. And it's funny, I was listening to the flow replay of when we went to Flying H.
Yeah.
And the dude said Chote.
And
I was like, hey,
get
it right. It's Schote.
Shut him down.
I was like, I know how to say it. Yes.
Looks like Adam got back in the 8.5 car, so Pops must have been in the.
Oh, right.
So
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. There was I think this is worth putting out because it's pretty awesome that Mrs. Harper said this. You know what I'm talking about, Rodney?
I think I seen something. Nice little shout out.
Yep. And this is Mrs. Harper talking about the way we're trying to help here. As she said, without the support that Rodney and Gary stirred up for the last small tire race in October, this series would not have continued into 2024. The support needs to continue not only from racers, but spectators. And that's a really awesome thing for her to say. But we're helping each other.
Yeah.
So, you know, we need a place to race.
Yep.
So
and we appreciate the shout out. So, you know, and it keeps us going, keeps us with some good energy. And just like we're going to bring Mark on tonight, I know a lot of people are coming on. They can watch this back. And we're just trying to be a good platform to share information. So we thank the Harpers for giving us a shout out. So,
yep. And if the Harpers hadn't come on board, we've said this and everybody knows this. If the Harpers hadn't come on board at Mid-America Dragway, the track wouldn't be operating. We wouldn't be able to race there. And it's becoming a super, super awesome place to race at.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So thank you, Mrs. Harper, for those great words. And I think we all make a great team.
There you go. Well said.
All right.
All right.
Well, let's do that and get rid of that. There's one comment here.
I think
Troy. Okay, there's Troy. Ryan Gibbs is one of the fabricators from Billman's building our car.
Okay.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah. Now, car looks great, Troy, and thanks for sharing the pictures. Excited to get you, see that thing in person. To get it out, hopefully by on the track next year, and we'll see. But just all about the sport. Another car in the chassis shop getting work done. It's another car. It's going to get wiring. It's going to get a converter. It's going to get an engine. It's going to get all that stuff. It's going to go to the racetrack. Racetracks that are open. Let's go down the racetrack.
Yep.
Let's race.
And we got some awesome racetracks around here.
We do, for real.
Yep. For real. Like in a few hours.
Yeah.
We got some great tracks.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Nate Bell is watching. What's up, Nate?
Hey.
Well, are you ready?
I'm ready.
This guy?
Bring him in.
This is going to be great. This badass dude, man.
Yeah. I already got the first question ready. Here it is.
Okay.
Let me tell you what it is. Where did Tito come from?
Yeah. Yes. We're going to bring him. You ready?
Yeah. Let's bring him in.
Let's do this. Mr. Mark Werdehausen.
Hey, Mark. How's it going?
You did scoot up. Closer.
It's going.
You're still pretty quiet.
Still pretty quiet.
It is.
Hold on. My phone's not the greatest, so.
That's all right.
That ain't bad.
Yeah, it's still a little hard to hear, though.
I'll scream at you if I have to.
Yeah. So where did the name Tito come from?
We were up at Wentzville. It was probably back in 94, 95, something like that. And there were some St. Louis street racers up there. That's back when small tire was 29 and a half, 10 and a half stuff. And the car got out there and wheelied a little bit. And, that was cool back in the day. And we go back to their pits and was listening to them. And his crew chief said, "Take your diaper off and drive that damn thing." And I was like, that's kind of cool. I think that's going to stick somehow or another. And
Right.
it was, I don't know, 5 or 6 months later, I started dabbling in some of this stuff. And then I was like, that's what I'm going to go with. Yeah. So that's where Title came from. And it's stuck ever since.
Okay.
Can you scoot up a little bit, Mark, you think?
Sure.
A little closer to the.
It's a little better. It's definitely different from the pre-show.
Yeah.
Yeah. My internet was wigging out a little bit, so I had to move closer to the door. Apologize for that.
That's all right. We'll get it set up here.
can get some earbuds and make it any better or not. I don't know that I have.
It might.
Yeah. If you got some right there.
You want to try some earbuds?
Yeah, let me see if I can go in and get some real quick. Hold on, fellas.
No
Okay.
problem. We can keep going. Oh,
Yeah.
look at the car in the back.
Oh,
That's
look
what
at that.
I want to talk about anyway.
Woo.
That's awesome. Yeah, man, Gary, I don't know. Just to be honest with you, I think I've seen this car in person, but I know I've seen it on, TV and the computer.
All over the internet.
Yeah, everything all over the internet. But I think this might be one of my favorite cars for real. You know what I mean? And that's just so cool. And I know he's reworking it now and that sort of thing. But yeah, we'll definitely talk about that when it gets a little closer. What's up, Nate Bell?
Nate said, "What's up, guys?"
Yeah.
Craig Marsh says, "Woo hood Mark." Woo-hoo. Nate says, "What a stud."
Yeah.
Right.
Is Nate still working on the Red Rocket, or because he showed some pictures where he had it in the on the trailer there? I wonder if he got it back to Craven or whatever they were doing. You know what I mean?
Left it sitting outside on a trailer like a stepchild.
Well, I think what they had to do is Craven had to do some work at the track, so they had to get the dump truck motor out,
Right.
and, get it in the truck, and then he did all the work. And he had to put it back in.
That's right.
So that was probably what was going on.
Yeah.
But and I think I was listening to with the race last week or yesterday. I don't think Craven was shoeing any cars. I think he was running the facilities there. I thought I even heard him in the tower on that Bodad video.
Oh, okay. Cool. I didn't catch that. I didn't see very many of the videos, but
yeah. Well, I was waiting on a semi video and a final video.
those two.
I never saw anything, and so I don't know what was going on there. They may have got a little rain or something. I know how, we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. That's really cool. Yeah. It's going to be fun to talk to Mark and
All
get
right,
some
guys, well, I
stories.
figured out a solution.
Okay.
No problem.
He's going to scream.
I got to turn my speaker up. I hooked up a speaker
Okay.
so I can hear you guys better, and I think that's what's jacking with us.
Okay. Oh man, Larry Hunt says 7 inches of flooding rain. Golly.
Dang. Boy, it rained like a dog here at 2:30 this morning. Holy cow.
Electricity was out for about 10 minutes.
Speak again, Mark.
Can you hear me any better now?
Oh, yes.
Perfect.
Excellent.
Whatever you just did it.
Don't
Yeah.
move. Freeze. Don't move.
Yeah, it's either I'm going to hear you or you're going to hear me. So I'll just go with you guys hearing me.
Okay. Sounds good. Hopefully you can hear us okay as well right now.
Yeah, I can at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Sounds good. So let's take it back to the left a little bit. How did you get into racing? Take it way back to the left. Did you have a cool car in high school or that sort of thing?
Yeah, I did. I had some cool hot rods in high school, but it actually started a little farther back than that. I was in probably, I don't know, 5th or 6th grade. And at the time, my brother was building a 69 Chevelle. Back then it was a Pro Street deal. Yeah, there's a picture of it. And for some reason or another, he let me help him with it. And I'd go out there and tinker on it when he was at work. And that just kind of got my blood flowing for the stuff.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it's been crazy ever since.
What kind of you said 5th, 6th grade, so what kind of year time frame was this?
Mid 80s probably.
Okay.
Somewhere in that area.
I was going to say 95.
What's that?
What kind of motor did this have in it?
When he first built it, it had a small block Chevy. I think it was like a 350 or something. Had a tunnel ram on it. Had the old, street scoop on it with the little flaps opened in the front. That was just the coolest thing since sliced bread at the time.
Sure.
Yeah.
2x3 back half, ladder bars. He didn't do any races, mainly did car show stuff with it.
Sure.
And then I don't remember exactly when, a few years later, he put a big block in it, and ended up selling it. But those are long ago memories for me.
Right on, right on. And then you were hooked. That was your bud right there.
That was it. That was it. Yep. Yeah. Like I said, that was 5th or 6th grade, something or the other like that.
Cool. Do you remember the first time like you went down the racetrack?
That would have been, I don't know if my buddy Stevie's watching, would have been at KCIR. So that tells you how long ago that's been.
There you go.
It would have been 92, 93, something like that.
Okay.
And it would, like 13 O's or something, I think was the fastest I went the first weekend out. So
I bet that felt like a rocket back then. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Back when, if you had a car that run in the 10s, you were somebody.
Right.
Yeah, that was a rocket.
Yeah. Yeah. They put you a poster on, you went that fast. Golly.
Yeah. No kidding. No kidding.
Yeah. Cool.
Mm-hmm. So that car there was the start of the, I don't know, issues or lifestyle, whatever you want to call it, that I have today.
Financial ruin.
Exactly. That too.
All the hours of the day is gone.
Time, sleep, all that good stuff.
Yeah. That's great. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of was a family deal then, it sounds like, just getting into cars and that sort of thing.
It was mainly my brother. My brother Bobby, he's my oldest brother. Dad, my parents and the rest of my family wasn't into, racing or performance or anything like that. And this car wasn't really a race car. It was more of a, car show type of thing. I remember one year we went to DeCoin, Illinois for Street Machine Nationals way back then. And I wanted to go so bad. I rode in the back of his truck all the way from Jeff City to DeCoin, Illinois to go to this car show.
Wow.
So you're in jail doing that now.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, no kidding. It was me and another friend of ours that rode in the back seat all the way, and we ran into a little rain here and there. So yeah, it was good times.
Dedication right there.
Yeah, something like that. We'll call it dedication.
Yeah.
The car at KCIR, you went down in the track first. What was the car?
It was like a early 80 Malibu.
Okay, cool.
Small block, turbo 350. I had put some, not necessarily what I'd call a good quality ladder bar under it, but, had a 28x9 slick on it. So it was nothing super crazy fast, just something to play with and go to the racetrack with.
You bet.
So the ladder bar work that you just mentioned, did you do the work to it?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
What originally got me into building race cars is, I wanted to go racing and had to have a cage in a car, and I couldn't afford to pay somebody to build a cage for me. So I bought some tubing and I bought a bender and that's where some of this stuff started.
At that point, did you already know how to weld a little bit, or?
I did a lot of metal fabrication stuff with my dad. So MIG welding and that kind of stuff was pretty easy for me to do at the time.
Okay.
So the welding in part of it wasn't so hard to do. Like I said, I'd had, probably that would have been 20. I probably had 8 or 10 years of playing with a welder at that point. So,
oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah. Started that process at an early age too.
During that time you were, doing that with your car, putting that cage in so you go to the track. Did you ever think that like you would have kicked the doors open and have your own shop one day?
Not at all. Yes. It was one of those that I did it because I had to have a cage in my car, and had a few other friends that wanted cages put in their car. So, I do a simple 6 or an 8 point in it for them. And, then other buddies found out and did some stuff for them. And, it's kind of snowballed from there.
Good news travels fast. There you go.
That it does.
Was you doing that work at your parents' house or your house, or
in my parents' house, that same garage there where that Chevelle's sitting?
Oh, right there.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big shop. Good deal.
Yeah.
It was, I think it was a 24x40.
Okay.
And what's crazy is the anchors are still in the floor from where I bolted my bender down still to this day.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yep. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
You'll catch a couple comments here. Our local guy here, Mark Westmoreland, says he's drooling over here. That's a sweet Chevelle right there.
Yeah, it was pretty badass back in the day. It had the crushed velvet, seats front and back, you know, and you know, aluminum wheel tubs and blah blah, all the cool stuff that Pro Street cars had back in the mid '80s.
It's got drag lights. Did it have Flowmasters?
That's been so I don't. That might have been before the Flowmaster time.
Okay, that's a pretty common recipe. Drag lights and Flowmasters.
Yeah, if it was the earlier '90s, I would have said it had Flowmasters on it for sure. But I don't. Like I said, I don't know if it had, you know, glass packs or no, it had super traps on it. That's what it had.
Oh, okay.
That gives you a time frame on the era that car was built.
Oh yeah! Wow.
Yeah, I remember some super traps. I know those. Yeah, that's funny.
Those are motorcycle mufflers, aren't they?
Then if you want to get real crazy, you just took the caps off and then you had
yeah, living on the edge right there.
Michael Brant's didn't have super traps, so there you go.
Yep. Mikey was all over that too.
Yeah.
Larry Hunt says Mark Cato is our hometown hero.
Thank you, Larry.
Yep.
This is our starter at Mid-America Dragway. Donnie Bethauser says, thanks again for the shirt, Mark. Had a good time giving you a hard time.
Amen, brother. Amen. It was good hanging out with those guys.
Right on.
We're ready to go back and do some more racing out there, I think.
Good.
Yeah. Nothing but a good time.
So, sorry we looked like such rookies when we were out there, but I think we got those problems fixed.
Russell says Tito for president.
Oh, look at that. You got his vote.
Good stuff.
Yep. That it is. And believe it or not, we're talking about cars. The first car that I actually had and drove was like a 80-ish Pinto. That was my first daily driver, you know, back when I turned 16.
Yeah.
I bought a mid-60s Chevy truck that I ended up fixing up, and that was kind of my first hot rod when I could afford to put the thing together.
Right.
Your Pinto a hatchback or station wagon?
No, it was a truck car. Yeah, it wasn't a station wagon. It was yeah. If it would have been a station wagon, that probably would have started stuff even sooner.
Yeah.
More room, right?
Yeah, no kidding. More room for the fire to start.
Yeah.
Yes, when you get rear-ended. Boom. Yeah.
Did you do any mods with that car, or mostly
the Pinto? No.
Yeah.
It was to get me back and forth to school and work kind of stuff.
Right on.
Yeah.
It just made me get the truck finished up even quicker.
Yeah. Would you call that truck your first kind of street race truck, or how would you call that?
Yeah. I don't know. I meant to try to message Mike Branch a while ago to see if he had some pictures of it. He's probably still got some pictures of it from back in the day, but I looked through all of my stuff and I couldn't find any.
Right on.
Tracy Werdehausen says the Pinto was Cole County concrete red.
Yeah.
There you go.
There's a concrete company there in Jeff City. It's called Cole County, and I think somehow or another we ended up with some red paint that we ended up painting the thing with.
Okay.
It was pretty close to implement paint, if you can imagine what that was like.
Yep.
Right on.
Russell has a question we're going to get to as we move along, but he says, ask Mark when the OG Camaro is coming to Outlaw 10.5.
Sooner than you want it to, Russell.
Yeah.
Oh,
Boom.
boom. Sooner than you want it to, he says. Right on.
Russell just wants to know his time frame so he can get boost ready.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
He's going to buy him some boost.
Yeah, there you go. You got a couple of months or better, hopefully.
There you go.
In the fall.
Yeah. Hopefully by Street Machines is my goal.
Right on.
So that'll be a pretty special race to have the thing out at if we can get it done.
No, that's great.
Yep.
He says he's ready.
Yeah. Guys got 3 passes and a boosted car. Now he thinks he's ready.
Yeah. That's it.
They'll give them guys a hard time and they're fun.
Yeah. No kidding.
you sent some pictures, and there was a handful of them, and one of them that I think is probably pretty old is this wagon.
Yep. That's exactly what it was like, other than the hood when I got it. Of course, it didn't have the wheels and stuff on it, but it had a big doghouse hood scoop on it.
Is this the wagon that we all know?
Oh, that's the same one.
That's the one. Okay.
Yep, that's the same one. That picture would have been probably 95, 96, something like that.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
When I bought it, the guy told me it had a 283 stroker in it.
That sounds strange.
That it's a 307.
All right.
Yeah, but 283 stroker sounds way cooler than saying it had a 307 in it.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's a 4-speed. I put the rally wheels on it, put a S10 rear end in it, 15x10 rally wheels, because you could get those from like Summit or Jegs back in the day. So I wanted to keep the rally wheel look, but the moon eyes are on the fenders, and you can see on the driver's door, I think there was a thrush muffler bird or something painted on that door at that time too.
Yep, you can see it. See it from here. So you said you had 3 pedals in this thing? Is that what you said?
It did for a long time. We took it to Wentzville. I don't think I had a picture of it. But you know, you know the power that a 307 has got with a steel flywheel. It would do a square foot wheelie. It would pop up about a foot, go out a foot, and come back down and just bog the rest of the way.
It looks pretty cool there with the deep dish wheel back there. Yep. It looks pretty cool.
It's real cool.
You were styling in the mid-90s with that.
I'm telling you.
You were setting standards and you didn't even know it.
Yeah.
I think, and Mikey would remember, I think it had a Mercury dirt track tire on it.
Sounds about right.
I think that's what everybody ran back in the day, because you know, it wasn't a slick, and it was still somewhat of a street tire, still shady to drive in the rain, but you know, they had a little bit of tread on them.
Yeah.
Oh man, there's a comment here. Michael Branch says, "Don't have any of the truck." Didn't you ask him about pictures?
Yeah. You're fired, Mikey.
Oh well. Heard it here first. Shut her down. What does Travis Gore call it?
The emoji wagon.
Yeah, it. Let's see.
Larry says the wagon can drag the bumper all while the back door flies open. The back hatch.
It was the driver's door, Larry.
Geez.
Sean Melton's got a video from the back at Ozark. Went out there and did a big old wheelie, and the driver's door popped open. I reached over and held the door shut.
Oh my goodness. Rolling the gears. That's great.
Yeah. I couldn't do anything with my hands because the front end was up in the air, so I figured I'd just reach over and grab the door.
Well, you know, at 150 mile an hour, if Rodney's window pops out of the track, he just reaches up and grabs it, and
right, might as well.
He did that at Tulsa. I seen it. Looks like he stuck his arm out the window.
Well, the window kind of flapped open. You know how you feel something, and my arm ended up going out a little bit. He's giving me a hard time right now. Is what he's saying.
It happens.
Yeah.
And I'm always gonna give you a hard time because that was funny.
That was funny.
Because I thought it was a piece of trim, but it looked like your arm come out, but it's a piece of trim. And to get to the pit, looked like you stuck your arm out the window. I did to get the window. Okay, he did then.
So, hey, Mark, tell us your best story or your funnest race in this car.
In this car, probably trying to race a guy on Missouri Boulevard, because that's where we cruised everything back in the day. Gee whiz. Mikey's going to chime in here. Remind me of the guy's last name. Blake was the guy's name. Had a really, really nice, like 70-ish Chevy truck, and never would race anybody. It had a big block in it, center lines, super nice truck, and ran decent, but he never would race anybody. So I got lined up next to him at a stoplight one time. I was like, heck yeah, here's my chance. And he tried racing me, but I left in third gear instead of first gear.
Oh,
Wow, wow.
I was like, dang it. And never got another chance to race him again either.
yeah,
Man.
That was my one shot at that truck, and I screwed it up.
yeah.
Russell says that wagon made me love small tire racing.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, Russell. I might have cost you a lot of money.
Michael Branch says Sebo.
Zabo. No, that
Sabo.
don't sound right.
Sebo.
Sebo. Nah. Siebenek. Blake Siebenek was the guy's name.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I remember. Now he's bringing it back to me.
And you said this was the mid 90s. Is that what you said?
Yeah, that would have been because I lived in that house in 95, 96. So I'd be somewhere in that area.
Right on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The next pictures I got roll into looks like some wagon racing on the track.
Okay. There it is.
Yeah.
And this has
Yeah,
a date in the corner. It's the Jackson Dragway. It says it's the year of 2000.
Yeah, that would have been after the Easy Street days.
Okay.
The ones I sent you, the magazine, we run NMCA Easy Street in 97, 98, I think. That picture there, I think it still had the small block nitro steel in it.
Right on.
Because that was the same wheels and same hood and stuff that was on it when we run Easy Street.
Oh, with Gary Rowe, right?
Yep. Gary Rowe and Bobby Joyce and
Dustin White.
Ernie Pearson, I think, was another one.
Yeah.
Royce Fox was another guy that we raced with back in the day. All good guys back in the day.
Shane says that thing got a Hemi.
Yeah, but no Pro Charger.
No.
Well, he was quick to say that, wasn't he?
Russell says you and Rick Pope have cost me a lot of money for giving me the drag racing disease. Yeah.
You're welcome, Russell.
Craig Marsh says I think Gary Rowe protested the wagon.
Oh.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Oh,
he absolutely did.
Okay.
I think we were in Chicago, and the record at the time was like a 910 or something. He had the record, and we went 905 or 907, and he come over and tried to find everything he could to complain about on it.
Yeah.
We weren't Jeremy Taylor, the guy that was doing the motor stuff with me back in the day. He's pretty sharp, and he's still pretty sharp on that stuff today. Back then it was cast iron heads,
right?
Tappet camshaft. I think it was limited to 360 cubic inches. And it had to have a plate and like a 4150 style carburetor on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was pretty crazy back in the day.
Yeah. Around this time frame too, 98, 99. Did you ever race MSRA?
I think we might have at one point or another.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't good. I remember, wasn't that one of the guys in charge of that stuff?
Yep. Shane Gilstrap, Trey Stoles.
Yep. I think we tried running one or two of those races back in the day.
Right on. No, that was a good time. We did that for a few years.
Yep. Right on. So it was good times.
And we said the date on this was 2000, but let's back up here to you mentioned this here also. This is Carcraft, December 98.
Yep.
Hellacious Wheel Stand Award, 920 to 146. Mark Werdehausen didn't qualify for the Quick 8 shootout, but put in 3 rounds on Sunday, made a dang good show of it. First, his little Nova Wagonmeister dragged Chrome to half track. Next time out, the small block erped a head gasket, belched and caught something on fire. We're not sure what, but it was cool. This was followed by one of the best thrash in the pit scenes we've ever seen in Easy Street, resulting in an event best ET of 920 to 146. Hauling beautiferous booty. But but slow enough to get spanked by Gary Rowe with a 907.
Yeah. Yeah. That thing burning on the ground was an Excel foam air cleaner.
Okay, I see it there by his foot.
Yep. And
looks like Steve Johnson in the blue shirt there on the other side.
Yep. And in the picture on the right, the guy leaning over the fender, that's Jeremy Taylor. That was the guy that was kind of doing the motor stuff back then. Daniel Wyatt there in the green hat. Steve Napier in the back on the right behind Jeremy, and I think Mike Little's the big guy. So yeah, we put a head gasket in that thing in under an hour. It was still hot when we were putting the head back on.
Whoa, that's getting down.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's one of those where, we're not nearly as prepared then as what we are for stuff like that now, but we got it done in the meantime anyways.
Man, hats off to you.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
Another thing you can see in that picture where everybody's head is under the hood, everybody's wearing white T-shirts. Nobody wears white T-shirts at the racetrack no more.
No, because they get too dirty working on stuff. I can't even sit on the couch in a white T-shirt and not get it dirty.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, good stuff.
Craig says also the wagon had special glass.
Oh yeah, that might have been what Gary was complaining about. Because back then you couldn't have Lexan, and those cars had 1/4-inch thick glass. It was like a double pane glass. Well, I had a local glass company cut me out new glass and then had it tempered and put the tempered stamp on it. And he thought it was Lexan. Yeah. Thanks for the reminder on that, Craig. Now I remember what he was complaining about.
Yeah.
I told the tech guys, I said, I'll hit that with a hammer and break it. I said, but you're going to pay to fix it. That is glass.
There you go.
I think that glass ended up in a yellow wagon down in Alabama.
Okay.
Yeah. I think so, because it's got Lexan in it now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then we got flames on the wagon.
Yeah, I believe that's an Ozark there.
Yeah.
Okay.
It had the big block in it, big block nitrous steel in it at that point.
I see the Flowmasters.
Yep. Had to have I think they were 4-inch back then, but yeah, had to have the Flowmasters on it.
Mm-hmm. Big block fogger or?
No, it was a plate still back then, I think.
Okay.
No, fogger was too technical for a guy like me.
Yeah.
I didn't want to make that much power.
Sure.
Yeah.
This looks like.
And believe it or not, that was my first attempt at flames on anything too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah. First time I ever picked up an airbrush, we were down in the shop working late one night, and buddy of mine, Mike Little, goes, "We ought to put flames on this thing." I was like, "Nah." And I looked on the counter, and I had some yellow paint, and I had some red paint. And away we went.
Rest is history.
Yes, that it is.
Are we in St. Louis? Where are we at here?
Yeah, that's like a gateway there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yep, that was back in the MHURS days, I believe.
Okay.
That was something that Greg Fergus and Chris Dingman put on.
Okay.
Right.
Is that a second gen next to you?
Yeah, that's Shannon Kimbrough from over around West Plains area.
Okay. Cool.
It was a big block nitrous car too. I think he upped and he had a fogger on his deal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was big power stuff.
Yeah, he's high tech then.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
What's the story on the Forrest Gump smiley face?
It was doing enough wheelies, so we decided to put a big smiley face on the roof so people from the starting line could see it.
Love it. Love it.
I think that's where somebody's emoji comment come from earlier.
Okay.
Oh, there you go, Travis. Yeah.
Travis said that Midwest Heads Up Racing Series.
Yep.
He said that was fun, so he remembers that.
Yeah. Travis is another one of those OG guys from back in the day.
Oh yeah, you got that right.
Good gooper guys there.
Yeah.
This is a cool picture here. This is from 2001. That's on that picture there.
Yep. Yeah, that was that would have been an MHURS race too. That GRF Motorsports. That was Greg Fergus. He was one of the guys who put that race on.
Okay.
Yep, that's a pretty cool shot there.
That's a great shot.
Back in the day with Winston drag racing banner on the side over there, and
we got Budweiser back there too.
Yeah,
big Budweiser banner.
all the craziness.
Wow.
Yep.
Man, alive.
And wheelies.
Yeah, that may have been the reason for putting a smiley face on it on the top picture.
Yeah.
That's like both those are St. Louis, aren't they?
Yep. Yep. Sean Melton's got video of the top one. It was up there long enough, and I missed a shift, and you can see it shooting out fireballs, and then the front end comes down because it got up there and hit the rev limiter.
Sure.
Yep. I think the green Chevy 2 was a small block Pro Charger deal back in the day, if I remember right.
Wow.
Yep. So some of that braking technology stuff back then.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
What Pro Charger that would have been back then? Like a D3 or a
D3M.
D3-ish, something to the other like that.
Yeah.
I think. Yep.
Yeah, D3M.
Yeah. Maybe low. Maybe fast DFI.
Maybe.
Yeah, the original Excel.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's all the wagon pictures, and I remembered this car, and I wanted to find it. All I could find was that was obviously from like a screensaver on your laptop. This gold Mustang.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
I remember seeing this out here at our racetrack. Yes.
Yeah, Wichita.
Yep.
Long time ago. Yeah.
It that car I got it from a late friend of mine, Adam Geyer. He passed away a year or two ago. It had a mod motor in it when I first got it from him. That was one of the cars that I did the cage in back when he still owned it. Still had the stock 8.8 stock suspension stuff in it. And that car is when I first started using AJE stuff. That was the first K member that I'd bought. I put in that car, and I raced it for a year or so with the mod motor. And then year or two later, ended up putting a small block Chevy with an F3 on it.
Okay.
Great combo.
That was one of my first dabbles with the EFI stuff.
Right. What system was it?
What's that?
What system was it?
Fast.
Fast. Yeah. The gray box.
Yep. The OG. It wasn't the cool XFI stuff.
No. We had to start with the gray. I ran the gray for a while.
Yeah. It believe it or not, when I put that Pro Charger on that car, they were still doing the chain drive stuff.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. It was pretty scary.
Yeah.
You think a normal Pro Charger makes noise now? Wait till you heard one of those.
Yeah. They did that just for a minute and then got away from that. I remember Doug Magnum had one of those.
Yep.
And Donnie Walsh.
And somebody up around Kansas City had a chain drive deal too, wasn't it?
Don Show, maybe.
Maybe. Seemed like it was a red big tire car.
Okay.
Who's the ASSC guys? Weren't they from around Kansas City?
Oh yeah. You're talking about Jim Summers.
Yeah, Jim Summers and them. That shop was around Chicago, I think.
Yeah, Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago suburbs.
In the in 2000 on the second car, he started working Pro Charger.
Yeah, I ran that setup for I don't know, probably 3 or 4 races, and ended up putting the 3-inch wide belt stuff on it.
Same.
It just seemed a whole lot safer.
Yeah. Travis made a good point. I think Mickey had that on his Camaro, right?
Yep. Yep. That was the same time when I put the F3 on that car that Mickey was getting into the Pro Charger stuff.
Right.
Yeah. And when he went to the belt stuff is when I decided to, and then I would take all of his old used belts and I'd use them on mine.
There you go.
Good.
Yeah. It's kind of like passing down slicks,
Exactly. I'll buy all your used stuff for nothing.
Yeah.
Another question on the wagon real quick. Mark Westmoreland asked, was it still a manual transmission at that point? Like, doing the wheelies and stuff?
No. It had a power glide in it at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we started easy street racing and gotten serious with it, it had an automatic in it then.
Okay.
And Craig says the Ford engine ended up in the wagon at some point. So the
Yeah.
engine out of this Mustang.
It wasn't out of that one. It was out of a maroon one, and I couldn't find any pictures of it. It was a maroon Fox body. I ended up trading this gold car to a cousin of mine that had the maroon car, and that gold car ended up going to Greece.
Oh.
So I ended up with the maroon car, and it had a 408 in it, had a 106. I think it was a Turbonetics, where you could change the size of the sleeve and make it from a 106 to an 88. I don't know how that would get by with the rules today, but I ran it in the maroon car for a year or two, and that's when I decided to put the wagon back together, and I put the Ford motor back in the wagon.
Okay.
This gold Mustang, when you brought it out here to Wichita, that's the first time I'd seen that car. And didn't you guys break a fuel pump cable?
Drive cable? Yep.
Yeah, that was the first time I'd ever heard anything about a fuel pump driven off of a cable. I'm like, what are these guys doing driving a fuel pump off a cable?
Yeah, it's overgrown speedometer cable back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that. I was out there that night.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was.
funny.
I think that was the only time I took that car out to Wichita.
Okay.
And didn't have a spare. That was the bad part.
Right.
Yeah.
Tracy Werdehausen says you didn't have to go far to get parts from Mickey since you were neighbors.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah. His house, his shop is right down the hill from my mom and dad's house, where I grew up and where my parents live. You can go out on my parents' back deck and look down and see Mark's house.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. So we've known that family for a long time.
Cool.
Yep.
I think these pictures of cars now we have will probably be stuff that you have built or worked on. And I grabbed this one because is this the Mustang that you came to Arc City with? That guy that Rodney raced twice?
Yep. I've worked on that car since I've been out here. That picture was probably from 6-8 years ago or something. Jim Lockwood is a super good guy.
Did he own it back then also?
What's that?
Did he own it back then also?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It had a mod motor with an F1 something or the other on it. And raced it like that for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. And then he took a couple of years off when we converted over to the turbo stuff that it's got now.
Okay.
And he's doing a heck of a job driving that thing to get out of a car that had a Pro Charger on it and then sit out for 3 years and then jump into a turbo car. You guys know as well as I do, it takes a little getting used to, and he's doing pretty good at it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Great guy. Talked to him in the pits a little bit before the race, before the second race. And he introduced us to his little horn that he's got too on his golf cart.
Oh yeah.
You're trying to bait me, aren't you, Rodney? You're trying to bait me to do that. Your turn. You do it.
Yeah, we'll have that thing down at Mocan this coming weekend for the Titans race too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Michael says, wasn't the gold car on alcohol? We ran most of the guys out of the shop.
Yep, most definitely. Most definitely. One of the craziest stories with the gold car, we were going up to Eddyville one year, and a good friend of mine, Jake Geyer, went racing with me quite a bit. I was actually hauling cows for my dad that day, and I called him. I said, if you want to go with me to Eddyville tonight, go out and get the car loaded up. And he's like, okay. So he went out there, and he had never driven anything that had a power glide where you had to hit the trans brake button to back up.
Yeah.
He couldn't get it to back up out of the garage, so we ended up shutting it off, pushing it outside, and getting it loaded up before I got there.
This is broke.
He's dedicated.
Yeah. So now he knows how to back up a car with a power glide in it.
There you go.
Is this one of Don Irwin's cars?
Yep. That's the current car that he's racing now. That's the Hemi deal that we put the Pro Charger and stuff on.
Okay, cool.
Yep. Yeah,
That's a business piece there.
Yeah, it's a pretty big one. We're having some issues keeping the Pro Charger stuff on it, but I think we're getting a better handle on it.
Right on.
Just trying to tame the torque that thing makes is a little bit of a struggle.
Yeah.
Right.
That's very cool.
Yep.
This really nice Camaro I seen on your Facebook page.
Yep. That belongs to a good friend of mine, Steve 80, that lives over in around Licking area. That picture, that
You
was
built
another
this
one of
car?
those from back in the early 2000s that run at Ozark every once in a while. Had a big Chief headed big block Chevy in it with a side slinger Pro Charger on it.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool looking car.
D3 maybe.
Yep, I think it was a D3. Yep, and it he sold the blower and stuff off of it, and in the process of getting stuff lined up to put twins on it now.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Yep. Yep.
Dumping the Pro Charger for the turbos.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah.
Right, Shane Mock?
Jim. Yeah. Jim Robinson says, "What's up, guys? Hey, Mark, how are you?" Jim
I'm
Robinson.
doing good, Jim. Haven't seen you in forever. Another one of those good guys to hang out and race with at the racetrack.
Yep.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yep.
And is this Jake Mason's Camaro?
Yep. I did that car probably 3 or 4 years ago, something like that. Yep.
Nice.
Did the front end and put the Pro Charger stuff in it. Redid everything basically from the firewall forward and did some double frame rail stuff in it.
Right.
He's been down here and raced with us a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Great
Yep.
people.
Yep, that they are.
He's the champ. You know?
Yeah.
He
Say
is.
it. He's the champ.
Titans.
Yeah.
Titans
Yep.
champ.
Those guys have got that car figured out.
Yeah.
He runs good. Jason Brown's car.
Yep. The Silver Bullet.
You built that car.
I did Jason did some of the work himself.
Okay.
And then he brought it to me to finish up and put it to where it's at there.
Sure.
That car's been around a long time then.
Yeah.
What's
Well,
That car's been around a long time.
Yeah, that was 2012 when I finished it up the first time.
yeah. Nitrous deal.
Yep. It had a big block nitrous in it at that point, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it had a big block nitrous deal in it.
I found this picture I thought was really cool. It was on your page from 2015. There's slicks on the back of the Camaro here.
Yep. That was when right after we first put the turbo stuff in it, I believe.
Okay.
I think it was like Pro Street Outlaw 10.5 / trim back then.
Yeah.
Yep. It's still that was some good old day stuff there.
Sure.
Talking about the Browns Camaro, Russell says fun car to drive. You mean this past weekend, Russell, with the boost?
Yeah, with the boost. Yeah, boost
the
made
boost?
it fun.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Uh-huh.
And title that the Browns car right there. Does it run an LS with a Vortec, or what's its setup now?
It's got an LS on it. I can't remember. I think they've got a Vortec deal on that one.
Yeah, it runs
They've
great.
got a couple of different size ones that they run on it, 105 and a 123, depending on what race he's at and which one is still in one piece.
Yeah, no, it's great family, great car.
Yep.
Russell said he had the privilege to pilot the car, and it was a blast. Brown's car.
Yeah. Those guys are always fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're awesome people.
That they are.
And looks like the same year. This was, spring of 15.
Yep. That would have been we won Throwdown with that car in Pro
Throwdown.
Street that year.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah. And actually won one of the, I don't remember what class it was. It was a 275 class. I won it with another customer's car. So we actually won with 2 cars that same weekend.
Oh, that's
Was
cool.
it like a blue third gen?
Yep. Blue third gen.
Okay.
Yep.
I seen that picture. And I didn't know.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
it was the same
Yeah.
weekend. I was actually driving the blue car.
Okay, cool.
It was a busy weekend. It was a funny story. We were headed up to the lanes with the maroon car, and they called up our class too. So my wife wrangled up, I think it was Jason Collins maybe, and they ended up bringing the blue car to the lanes for me. So after we got done making the pass with the maroon car, then I jumped in the blue car.
There you go.
Yeah.
Talk about teamwork.
Yeah.
No kidding. No kidding. Yep. And we hadn't been dating, but probably 6 or 7 months at that point. She got shoved in head first into that deal, I think.
Throw her right in the fire.
Yeah,
There you go.
no kidding. No kidding. Wouldn't trade her for the world.
There you
Right.
go.
Yep.
There you go.
Here's a more of a modern look of the car
Yep. That
with the big radials.
Yeah, that was in RVW trim. That would have been probably down at Bradenton because we had a little incident with the car in December in Orlando testing. And then come back and ended up having to put everything, rear quarters and stuff like that on it, and then took a bunch of weight out of it. And we struggled with that car ever after we took the weight out of it in RVW trim.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was some good times there too.
Here's a picture on some scales.
Yep. That would have been around the same time.
That's a good looking car. Woo,
Yep.
man.
That's great.
I need to use the restroom. It's that time.
What
So-
happened to the cup?
Is it 8:22 already?
Hey, now keep talking about this because the next stuff here I don't want to miss. So give me a minute. Keep talking.
Actually, Tito, I got a question for you.
All right.
What year did you open up the shop? And start, burning.
I started doing the shop stuff probably in the late 90s while I
Right.
was working a factory job at the same time.
Okay, so you
So it
started
was
at
kind
night
of
weekends.
It was my second full-time job then.
Right.
And then it was probably would have been around 2000-ish, 2001 that I started doing this stuff full time.
Yeah.
As an only income, and it was pretty stressful then. Not that it's not stressful now, but
Sure.
I had a wife and 2 kids at the time, and yeah, it was a little bit of a struggle, but I told myself I was going to make it work.
There you go. Well, you've done a great job. Definitely. So how did you kick off this relationship here with Mr. Slavens here?
I became friends with Tim back in the mid 90s.
Mhm.
He lived down by Lake of the Ozarks, down to Eldon area, and they would come up street racing, and got to know them and hanging out with them. And I think the first year I ever went down to Memphis to watch, we kind of hung out with those guys, and have been hanging out with them and the family ever since.
Right, because they start out with a Chevelle. I was thinking at MSRA Topeka that he was there in a Chevelle.
Yep. It was a 66 or 7. He'd yell at me if I didn't know which one it was, but
Sure.
And raced that car for a few years. I helped him with some stuff on it, and then ended up building the 4th gen Camaro that he had. I built it for another customer, and he ended up buying it.
Right.
And we put his motor and stuff in it.
Yeah. So then the 69 came along. At what point did come on, this is a serious game here. You know what I mean? At what point did it's like, we're going to go do this for real?
Actually, the 69 belongs to Matt and Anita Zimmerman and Mark Michael. And they brought that car to me in 2013 to wire it and plumb it, put race pack stuff on it and plumb it and hook up all the nitro stuff.
Right.
And then they raced it 2 or 3 races. Matt would probably remember that. I think he's watching. And then they asked if Tim would be able to drive it, and if I would be able to tune on it, and
Okay.
The rest is history on that car.
Right on. That's awesome. It is one of those cars that is history. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Michael did say that Tim's car was a 66 Chevelle. Just so you
Yeah.
know.
He's good with numbers. Thanks, Mike.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
And no, I know that some of the upcoming pictures are going to be. So this is a good. I'm glad Gary's back now. But you know, when I was sitting there at you know, watching what I'm going to call the duck race, where this thing, you know, you had to do all the extra work in the pit. Let's say.
Yeah.
I'm ready to hear those stories. So, Gary, we just kind of talked about how you met Slavens and Tim
cool.
and you know, just kind of the owners of the car and how
Right.
they came and that sort of thing. So we're ready.
Okay.
We're ready for the next picture.
Okay. Everybody remembers this. And so we don't want to talk about the crash. It's irrelevant. We want to talk about the thrash to fix. And
Well, hold on a second.
okay.
I don't think this was a crash. It just went airborne and landed on four wheels. Is that fair?
Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't the taking flight that caused the problem. It was the landing.
The landing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but being serious, I don't think it crashed, right? I mean, seriously.
No, it still had all the body panels on it. The front end was cracked up a little bit, but he didn't hit anything on the sides.
Cool.
Yeah. That happened at that would have been early on Tuesday of that duck week that year. And you know, and he drove it off the track. I was like, well, it can't be that bad.
Right.
That's a good picture there. When they got the car back to the pits, I started looking at it, and there was probably 2 inches of air under the right rear tire.
Oh.
I was like, this can't be good.
Oh.
And I crawled under it and looked. Well, it landed on that tire, and it bent the 4-link bar into a U shape.
I got that picture too.
Yeah. And it ripped the arms off the anti-roll bar. It bent the slide bar on the wishbone, and screwed up a bunch of stuff in the front. Yeah, there's the upper 4-link bar.
Yeah. And here's what it looks like in place.
Yeah.
That's not good.
So that's where all of our negative preload come from when they push the car back to the pits.
That's opposite of good.
Yeah. So we got the thing up in the air, and I looked it over, and I was like, that piece is fixable. And so I got on the phone with Blake at 417 Motorsports, and I called him. I said, hey, can you cut me out some anti-roll bar arms? And do you have a slide tube for a wishbone? I was like, I think I've got everything else here I can fix it with. So he water jetted me out some arms and overnighted them to me. Had them the next morning. We had quite a bit of the rest of the car fixed yet late Tuesday. I think we worked on that car for about 36 hours straight.
Dang.
Yeah. The picture of the truck hooked. Yeah, that one there. That was our frame machine.
Yes.
we had the other side of the car tied to the trailer.
Okay.
So that we could use the truck to pull the snout bar back out, because it bent the snout bar in, broke the tube that the motor plate bolted to.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to put a new tube in for the motor plate. It screwed up a piece of the lower frame rail. We ended up splicing some of that stuff in. And it was crazy. We got it all back together, and got it sitting down on the ground. I had to put a couple extra shims on the strut cup on the right side because I couldn't get the snout bar pulled back all the way that I wanted it to. But we pushed it through the pits. It drove and it didn't track funny. So I told Tim, I was like, let's go give it a try. Let's run it to half track and see how it handles and make sure everything's okay. And Tim's like, okay, I trust you. So we pushed it up to the staging lanes, and I set the preload and the anti-roll bar after he had gotten in it for the first time after it took flight before we made that pass. That was the first time he had sat in the car, was when he was getting ready to go up and make a pass.
Wow.
and the fastest that car had been on 275s was a 381, I think. And I told him, just run it to half track or so. We'll make sure it's going to stop and steer. And he drives it farther than he was supposed to, and the thing goes 385. Straight as a string, right down through there, and it's like, all right, we got
Woo.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was. I get goosebumps just thinking about that day.
Oh man.
Oh man.
For
Yeah.
the,
With this thing tied off on both sides, like you said, was it very hard to move the structure around like you wanted it to? Was it a pretty big struggle?
No,
No.
that stuff isn't. I mean, it's pretty crazy how much you can bend a car like that with a truck and a big trailer.
wow.
Good to know. Good info to have.
You know, from a fan at home, we were watching this play out, and we saw it come back around. You know, after the 36-hour track, because they were keeping everybody updated on the
Mhm.
flow or on the live stream, and we saw him make that little blip to the 500 feet or however you want to say it.
Right.
It was just like talk about like a fan cheering, and not only for you to be able to turn it in that time in the pit, and then but think about on Tim's side, he just last time he let go of the button, he's looking vertical, and now he's
Right.
just like getting back in and like on the chip. Here we go, and the thing just went straight down. Just
Yeah.
a testament to
We-
his driving.
we went back and looked at the data. It was in the air longer than it was on the ground the first part of the pass.
Yeah, wow.
We could see on the ride height sensors and the shock sensors and stuff when it came off the ground, and then we could watch the G meter when it landed. It was flying longer than it was under power going down the racetrack.
Wow.
Craven says Tim told me at Tulsa that the 8th mile was the half track. It's true.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah. Can't argue with that.
Yeah. I like what Russell Foreman said.
Yeah, Mark says that's absolutely incredible what you guys did there.
Oh,
Appreciate that. It was a lot of work by a lot of people.
Well, how many other teams would have just packed it up?
All the smart ones.
That's what
but I told those guys, I said, it's only Tuesday. Even if it takes us 2 days to fix this, the race doesn't start till Thursday night.
Yeah. There you go.
And we had the thing. I think it was the late session Wednesday night when we made that pass. I know it was dark, but it was probably 9 or 10 o'clock when we got the thing finished up and in the lanes and ready to make a pass.
Yeah.
Yep.
Russell says the first turbo car I've ever cheered for. He says, man, I miss him.
Yep. It was good times. I miss him too, Russell.
So fixing that like that, was there other crew people helping you guys and other people bringing parts to help fix it?
Yeah. Phil Schuler come over and said, anything you guys need in my trailer is yours.
Wow.
And coming from a guy like that, I was like, oh, wow, this is pretty awesome. And then I think Ellen, we needed some tubing or something, and Ellen had made a post on Facebook about it. And Corey Voss down in Florida, which wasn't that far, had a piece of the tubing that we needed. So Paul and Mikey hopped in the smart car and made it was a 2-hour round trip or 2.5-hour round trip to go down and get that last piece of tubing. And I took a little bit of a nap while those guys were gone, and when they got back, I went back to work.
There you go.
So this picture here, from what I see, this shows a bent car repair kit. A truck, a trailer, some ratchet straps, and a giant hammer and a grinder.
And a big hammer. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's all you need.
Yep. And a little bit of know-how.
Yeah. Napa
And
know-how.
a little bit of know-how and some want to.
Exactly.
Man,
Yeah. It was good times. That's for sure.
there's a giant bottle jack sitting on a floor jack.
Yeah. That's OSHA approved right there.
You got to do what you got to do at that point.
You
Man.
got that right.
Yeah.
And it's dark 30, whatever time that is.
Wow. Yep. For sure.
What do we got here? Craig Marsh says this car is the only car to go airborne in Valdosta and come back and race the same race.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Wow.
I think so. Yep. And like I said, I don't know if that was smart or dumb or what, but we got it done. Mm-hmm.
You probably gained a bunch of fans that day.
I think so. It was funny. Tim was always, I don't know if I'd say cautious about his Facebook stuff, but it was always a running joke on, how many new Facebook friend requests he got after a weekend of racing, and
Right.
that weekend it was crazy the amount of friend requests that he got.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Gee whiz.
Yeah. I think at one point he was up to 1,000 requests that he didn't respond to.
Jeez.
Wow. Incredible.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, you got anything more on that thrash, Rod?
No, I think he's answered all my questions. I mean, that is just
Man.
awesome. Hats off to you.
Thank you. That,
Wow,
that was a team
impressive.
effort for sure.
Yeah.
Wow. So before stopping on this, how did that with the car being able to go down the track again? How did the race end up for the car?
We entered RVW because we were running Pro 275 at the time. We entered RVW to get a few more test passes in on it. I think we lost first round in Pro 275, but we went a couple of rounds in RVW, believe it or not.
Oh, cool.
Believe it. Believe it.
Dang, that's
I-
awesome.
I'd have to go back and look through my notes and my data log stuff, but I think we won 2 rounds in RVW and we lost first round in Pro 275.
Right.
Wow.
You guys kind of had a front row seat to that whole thing with, Pro 275 RVW, how it's kind of, taken off, all the cars were there. Then it kind of thinned out a little bit with the rules and that sort of thing. And now it seems like it's got some new life again.
Yep. It'll never be what it was back in the day, I don't think.
Sure.
And we've got the stuff to convert the Pro Mod to RVW, but I doubt it'll ever happen.
Okay.
But the parts are there to do it with.
Sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. This is really cool. A cover of Drag Illustrated. That's Joe Oplowski, Tim, and you.
Yep.
That's really cool.
Yeah. That was when Wes called me and asked me about that. Had the one and only John 4-3 taking the pictures, and I don't know if you've ever dealt with or talked with John. He's a super cool dude and an awesome photographer. And Wes had told him, he said, I want him to look like the Beatles, like on the cover of the Rolling Stones. So that was the pose we ended up with.
That's a great cover.
Yeah. Yep. I think I still got a copy of that issue in the plastic.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was pretty neat stuff. And I've known Wes from way back in the Eddyville days.
Right.
Pretty good dude.
Yep. We listened to his show. He's got a really good
Yeah.
really good weekly show. It's really fun to listen to.
Does a lot for the sport.
Yep.
Yep,
There's a picture of
that is.
you in your office.
Yep. That's in the seat of the Pro Mod there.
Heck yeah.
That was one of the first few races I did in that car.
Mm-hmm. Talk to us how that build came along.
Well, after Tim passed, we didn't want to park the car because we knew that he'd want us to keep racing. So I had a little talk with my wife first, and then, with Matt and Anita. Matt approached me, said, "Hey, would you be interested in driving the car?" And I said, I'll have to talk to my wife Dana about that. And we talked about it for a couple of days. And then I had a really long talk with Joe about it. And everybody was on board. So we went down to Valdosta in 22, the weekend after Duck's race. That's where I made my first passes in it and did my license passes and stuff in it.
Okay.
It was a pretty emotional couple of days down there.
Yeah, I can imagine.
The first pass I went up and I don't know if my left leg was shaking because I was scared, because I was nervous, or because I was emotional, but it was over there bouncing like a jackrabbit.
Probably all the above.
Yeah, maybe
Wow.
so. Maybe so. So yeah, we've had some good times in that car.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
That we have.
This got a little bit out of order, but seeing this picture here from a Pro 275 win.
Yep, that was a Sweet 16.
Awesome.
Oh,
I
yeah.
I think it was earlier in the year from when it took flight.
Okay.
Or the year. No, it was the October before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the date on this is October 25th, 2020. That's when Tim put it on Facebook. But
Yeah,
But-
that was because they had 2 races in a row. We won the Sweet 16 deal because Mickey had some issues in the final, and it was crazy. Then we didn't qualify for the lights out race the very next week. So we went from hero to zero in a matter of about 4 or 5 days.
Just like that.
Dang.
Talk about like the event, you know what I mean? And like what's it like going to a Ducks race for a week and just
It's a lot of sitting around doing nothing. and then hurry up and race.
okay.
And a lot of tractors.
a lot of tractors, a lot of glue, lot of people, a lot of traffic jams. Because we tried parking up close to the front, at those races, and all the cars have to go by our pits to get to the staging lanes, and yeah, sometimes we
can't get out.
Yeah, it was hard to get in and out.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little bit of a struggle sometimes.
Keep that in mind, Rodney, when you take your RVW Mustang to duck race.
I thought it was a pro mod. He's taking the pro mod doors off of it. That's right.
That's what it was.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, it's funny.
Mm-hmm.
That's
yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
These 2 comments. Russell says, "Are you going to be driving the pro mod when the pro mod comes back out?"
We haven't made a decision on that yet. We don't even have the car back yet. We're not sure when we're going to get it back. Hope to get it back sometime later this coming week or first of next week. And then when we get the car back and we get the thing ready to go and test, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do then.
Cool.
It's like, oh, Devin Brown's watching.
Yes, Devin Brown says, "Evening, kid." Devin Brown.
That's not fair, Devin. I didn't see you were here. That doesn't count.
Devin special. He's responsible for turning Russell into a boosted guy.
Yep. That is.
You heard it here.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We don't just talk nonsense. Sometimes we have facts.
Yeah, if you heard it here first, it's official.
Way to go, Devin.
Yeah. Way to go, kid. I got a running joke going on with Devin. The first one to see the other at the beginning of the day, it's morning kid. And whoever says morning kid first wins. And
okay, so there's something behind that. Okay,
I got him twice this past weekend, so I think I'm getting ahead. Kick my box. Yep. So that was it's good hanging out with them guys.
Yeah. They're fun. They're a lot of fun to hang out with. There's I found some cool pictures of the pro mod. Is this like from the from Wes's deal in Florida, the World Series of Pro Mod? Is this where this is at? It says Bradenton on the. Or
I think all the Wes's stuff have got World Series on there somewhere. That's probably from US Street Nationals or Snowbirds, one or the other.
Yeah, I think this in the bottom right says Snowbird 2022 or something like that. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that would be the December race down at Bradenton.
Okay.
Another awesome racetrack to go to if you ever get a chance.
It'd be fun to race in Florida in the winter.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
It would be fun.
Yep.
Cool
it's crazy
car.
to think that we have a longer off time in the summer than what we do in the winter with that car.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's the white safety parachutes doing their job there. Little red, white, and blue action.
Yeah, it looks good.
That's a cool picture.
Yeah. Couple cool questions right here for you.
Yeah. Mark says, definitely don't show your daughter this car, Gary, or you might just have to sell your stuff. Yeah, she likes Camaro. She likes the 69 Camaro.
Yeah.
Awesome. She likes the one behind me then too.
Yes, she would.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
I don't think she's seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Russell says, will you be racing the OG in 10.5 Outlaw? I would love to race the OG car with you driving. Huh.
There's a really, really, really good chance of that happening, Russell.
Nice.
Yeah. Really good chance of it.
Zach West says, I want to know how Taito thinks about the Pro Mod compared to the small tire stuff. Which one does he like better and why? Great question.
The small tire stuff is easier.
Mm.
Most people think you put a big tire on, it's going to be easier to go fast, but it's harder. And we've broken more drivetrain parts in the last year and a half with the Pro Mod than we did in 5 or 6 years of running RVW.
Wow.
Whew.
Yeah. Transmissions, rear ends. Yeah, it's way harder on drivetrain parts.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Because a Pro Mod will sort of attempt to go down a racetrack if the track is bad. Whereas if a radial car, if the track is bad, it just goes out and spins and you're done.
Yeah.
The big tire stuff still kind of tries to go, and then that's when it rattles your teeth out.
Okay.
So if it's available to be tore up, the big tire will just go ahead and tear it up.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We went through at least 6 sets of the 11-inch ring and pinion stuff so far in that car.
Holy cow.
Wow.
Yeah. The stuff that's not supposed to be breakable.
Right.
I tell people all the time, if you have something that you think can't be broken, give it to us and we'll
Bring it over.
We'll prove you wrong.
Yeah. We will deny your claims.
Dang.
Yeah. That's another picture from down at Bradenton there.
That's a cool picture too.
Great picture.
I got a little bit out of order, but I think I'm back on track. Pit Thrash. Here is this. This is a pretty recent picture I think you posted.
Yep, that would have been from a few weeks ago, more than likely.
So it got a rear quarter and a new nose.
Yep. And then basically pretty much all the bars from the firewall forward.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was wrinkled up pretty bad.
Mm.
But those guys are working on it when they can. And like I said, I talked to Matt earlier, and he said he talked to him one day last week, and they said it should be ready to pick up by the end of this coming week.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Yeah. It's been there since March 1st. Like 3 days after the wreck happened in Florida, it was at Bickles.
Oh, wow. Okay. And here's the other car.
Yep.
Is that at your place?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So your Facebook page says like formerly Taito race cars.
I have no idea why that says that.
Okay.
It was probably, I don't know, 6-8 years ago, maybe. My mom calls me, says, why does it say former owner of Taito race cars? I said, Mom, I have no idea. I don't want to go in and try to change it because I'm liable to screw up my whole Facebook page and lose everything I got.
Sure.
Well, it'll say formerly something else, formerly donkey herder or something.
Hey now, neighbor's donkey herder,
former donkey farmer.
Yeah, there you go. We
Donkey
got chickens
wrangler.
too. Yeah.
Who came up with the color combination?
That car the old car was originally a maroon color when the Zimmermans got it back in 2013, and it stayed roughly that same shade the whole time.
Okay.
They like their 69 Camaros, and they like that maroon color, and it's had a few different shades of it over the years, but it's always been that maroon with a gray or a black stripe.
Yeah.
Cool.
It makes it easier to keep selling the same shirts when the car stays the same color.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think we still got a few of the old car shirts left from way back in the day, still floating around in the trailer.
There you go.
What is your power out of choice? Blower, turbo, or nitrous?
I kind of like the turbo stuff myself, but as far as tuning wise, the blower stuff might be a little easier because you've got less things to screw up with.
Right.
You know, you get your horsepower tune up right on a Pro Charger deal. Really, all you need to mess with is a launch curve.
Right.
You know, like a timing retard. Whereas the turbo stuff, you've got the option of playing with boost, and we found out over the weekend on Junior's red car that too much boost and too much timing happen at the same time is not a good thing.
Uh-oh. it makes holes in places it shouldn't.
It makes it rattle really hard when it had way more boost and way more timing at the same point than what I thought it was going to have.
Sure.
We learned from that, and we'll try to make it better next time.
Sounds good.
Yep.
You still have the wagon?
Yep. It's sitting out in the field, keeping the donkey company.
Yeah, Jim Robinson says, "What's up with the wagon?"
Yep, it's sitting out in the field. It's just got a stock motor and tranny stuff in it to drive it around, but I keep busy with everything else enough that I don't have time to mess with it, so it just sits out there.
Yep.
I've had a lot of people try to buy the thing, and I've contemplated selling it, and I was like, you know what? It's really not costing me anything sitting out there doing nothing, so I'll just leave it sit out there.
There you go.
That's entertaining the donkey.
Exactly. Brent Sansui's been trying to buy that thing off of me for as long as I can remember, and I keep telling him no. But one of these days, I might call him up and tell him just bring a trailer down and take it home with him.
Come get it.
Yeah.
Craig says, and that front end is offered in the manufacturer's website as a Tim Slavin style front. Cool.
Yep.
That was the plow on the front. Is that why?
Yeah. That's Larry Jeffers is the one that makes the front ends for us. We actually had the mold, and I did some trading with him, so he's got the mold now. So that's why he called it that.
Okay.
Yeah.
It does have its own look, though. I mean, that's the one.
Yeah, it's really all factory dimensions. It's not narrowed or sloped down in the front or anything. It's as close to original size body panels as what you can get.
That is what's so cool about that car.
Yep.
Yeah.
Damon Steinke says, "What's the status for the Pro Mod?"
Don't know when we're going to get it back. Hopefully in the next week or two, Damon, and then we'll kind of go from there. We're going to take it down to Kryptonite Customs and get the thing wrapped, and then get it all put back together and try to go test it somewhere and maybe come up with a game plan. And we hope to have it ready for the big race up at Flying H in September.
Have you been to Flying H yet, Mark?
I have not. We had our oldest daughter got married last weekend, the same weekend they had their race up there, so I wasn't able to go to that race. But
yeah,
we'll get up there one of these days soon.
You won't be disappointed.
You'll like it.
Yeah, from the pictures and what everybody's saying, it's a super nice facility.
It's very cool. You'll like it for sure. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Charles Wickham says, "Put some Irish Spring bar soap in it talking about your wagon to keep the field mice out of the wagon." Is that a thing?
That's a pro tip right there.
I think it is. I think it is. Yep.
Irish Spring, huh? Interesting.
Yeah, I think I've heard that before. Thanks for the tip.
Okay.
That's fine.
We're pretty knocked out on pictures here. I got one more deal here. You sent me. I kind of photoshopped it to make one piece of it bigger. This deal on you and Tim.
Yep.
Yep. 32nd annual Tim Slavin's Memorial. Was this something from this weekend?
No, that was from
Street
Street
Machines
Machines last year.
Right. Yeah, this was Shane's deal. 32nd annual Tim Slavin's Memorial Street Machine Nationals, Team Wolverine, 3 decades of determination. Mark, Tito, Werdehausen, and Tim started racing on the streets together in 1993. By 2000, they were traveling all over the Midwest in different series and racing as far away as Orlando, Florida. 2000s, you had multiple Outlaw 10-5 championships at Ozark Raceway Park. September 2016, first 200-mile-per-hour pass at 401 in Huntsville, Alabama. February 14th, 2018, set the world record 362 at 217. October 2020, Sweet 16 winner. February 2021, the Camaro took flight in Georgia. We talked about that. And December 2021, Wolverine 2 qualifies for fastest Pro Mod field in history in its debut.
Yep.
Yep. Pretty awesome stats.
Awesome.
It is pretty cool. I miss that guy more than you guys can imagine.
Oh yeah.
Yep. But yep, the guys out at the track gave that award to me, like I said, last year at Street Machines in September. So it's a pretty awesome thing. I got it hanging on the wall in the office next to a bunch of other big pictures of the cars.
Awesome. Really cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite car you've driven?
That I've driven? Man.
You've driven a lot of them, haven't you?
Yeah. A few. It'd probably have to be the Pro Mod.
Okay.
Mainly because it's the fastest and it's just a unique deal. I'll probably change my mind if I get back in the old car. But it's probably one of those two. Yep. I hope to say that getting to drive the old car is gonna be better than driving the Pro Mod.
Yeah.
Cool.
You know, I said earlier that my leg was shaking in the first pass I made in the Pro Mod. It may be worse in this car.
Right.
What's been your favorite car to tune and help with at the track?
Shoot. Man, oh man. That's a good one there. I don't, there's so many. I don't know that I have one that's so much better than the rest of them. It's just fun and a blessing to be able to play with all these guys' cars.
Yeah.
And that they trust me. I mean, I had, I think 6 cars this weekend that I was pushing buttons on.
Wow.
You know, and that was an average weekend. I've had as many as 8 in one weekend before.
Holy cow.
So I don't want to single anybody out saying, hey, this guy's car is better than the other ones, because they've all got their unique traits and what each one likes and what you have to do to one to make this problem go away. And it was funny. I was talking to somebody this weekend and I was looking at a tune-up that was in a car. And I was like, this isn't what I put in this car. And I got to thinking, oh, wait, this was the other car.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
So do you tune on multiple cars in the same class? And how do you handle that?
I give everybody, you know, if I'm tuning on multiple cars in the same class, I give 110% to each car because they're trusting me with it. So I'm going to do everything I can for each car to give them the best that they can be. And sometimes I'll learn, what one car does and use that to help out the other car and vice versa.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's like the pro line guys. They've got 30 or 40 of the same combos out there, and they learn something off of one and apply it to all the rest of them.
Right.
Yeah.
And I try to do that with all my guys, and they're all on basically a 275 tire at the moment. So kind of learn what that tire likes and what it takes to make each car do the best that it'll do.
Have you had 2 cars in the same class that you're tuning meet in the final?
No, not in the final. I don't think.
That'd be fun.
I've had them line up in like I think there was 3 races last year. I had 2 cars meet first round, 3 races in a row. One qualified really good, one was qualified really bad, and they ended up running each other. And I think one guy won 2 of those races, and the other guy won 1 of the races. So,
Okay.
yeah. So but it's always a good time. I try to make sure all the guys' cars that I tune on, make sure everybody gets along, because a lot of times, I try to have an open trailer policy. Whereas if anybody needs something, come to me, and if I don't have it in my trailer, then one of the other guys has got it in their trailer.
There you go.
That's cool.
Whether it's fuel or silicone or a bolt or a test light or something. If I don't have it in our trailer, then go borrow it from so and so. He's got one.
Right.
So it's just awesome to have that kind of trust from the people's cars that I get to play with, to know that, hey, if somebody needs to borrow something and Mark says it's okay, let him borrow it.
Yeah.
Do you like tuning or driving better?
Not that I don't like driving, but I get more satisfaction out of the tuning side of things.
Yep.
Yeah.
The driving is more fun, but the tuning is more satisfying.
I could see that. Yep.
Yeah. What do you think about this little thing going around the local tracks? The first of the 399s.
Yes. Great question. How long is that going to take?
What's that deal pay again?
Well, I don't think we know yet.
To be honest, I think it could have been done out at Arc City a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
The way the track was prepped out there, if the right car was there, 390s wouldn't have been a problem.
That was going to be my follow-up question, is what track you think it's going to happen on. But I don't know if you just answered it or not. But
I think if Flying H was to have a radial only race,
October.
Are they having one in October?
Yep.
If it doesn't happen by then in October with the air and the conditions, it should be able to be done up there. The race they had 2 weeks ago or last weekend, whatever it was, was essentially a pro mod race, and we all know that you can't race.
We were there
and radial stuff successfully and make everybody happy.
It was a light prep. We were there.
Yeah. So you get a surface like that's got a ton of rubber on it, a ton of glue on it, everything will be fast up there.
Well, we was there for Streetcar Takeover a few weeks before that, and it was a great surface.
Yeah.
Craven was really fast, and so was Daniel Anders.
Yep. Yep. I think Jason Brown went 22 up there last weekend, didn't he?
He did.
Yep. So and I think they had some blower troubles or something. So that's one of the cars that can do it. Cravens would be able to do it. Justin Heckman's been right in that area before too.
Yep.
Just give those guys a super good sticky surface and good air conditions, and it'll happen this year.
That'll be fun to watch.
September 28th race, Gary, at Arc City.
Ooh, that'll be a good one.
Right. Yeah, the weather by then maybe will be changing back towards.
Yeah.
We get through these 2 or 3 months of summer that's coming, and
right.
Get on the back end in late September, hopefully, especially at night when the sun goes down.
Yep, exactly.
Because Mr. Harper knows his way around the darn radio prep racetrack. We know that.
They were doing a heck of a job when we were out there a few weeks ago. I'll give them that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hats off to those guys.
He's an animal. He loves that, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Russell says he's talking about this little plaque deal. He says that makes my allergies act up.
Yeah.
Hey, amen, brother.
Right on.
Amen.
Mark Westmoreland says those credits look pretty impressive. Mark, you are amazing, sir.
Thank you, Mark. I try to do my best for everybody.
Russell says you're a mad scientist with all combos.
Yep. We try.
Well, that's Rodney. That's the end of the pictures we got.
All right. Yeah. So Mark, just talking through it, just hats off to you. And, I've never seen you get upset. Always cool under pressure. Everybody's always got great things to say about you. Appreciate what you do about the sport, do for the sport. And, we talked a little bit earlier how you got started in the shop, but this is kind of your turn now to, give you the mic. And, if there's anybody you want to thank, couldn't do it without this person sort of thing, we'll just give you the floor.
All right. Let me go get my list.
All right.
And while he's doing that, Larry Hunt says he's a good bracket racer too.
All it takes is one time beating Larry Hunt, and you're good at something.
and Craig Marsh says you can cook also.
What?
I usually do all the cooking when we go to the pro mod races. So If it's
Right
not
on.
tuning on the car, then I'm working on the grill.
All right, on man.
Excellent,
We-
excellent
We,
skill to have.
we like to eat well when we go to the racetrack.
Well, yeah. That's
we
awesome.
we cook up ham sandwiches. Potato chips. We're gonna come see you.
It was funny before we got ready to go to the World Series. Anita asked if she could help, do some grocery shopping. I said, yeah, if you want to pick up some bacon and potatoes. She's like, well, how much bacon do you need? I was like, well, there's going to be 7 days. Sam sells it in a 4-pound package, so get 7 packages of it. So we took almost 30 pounds of bacon with us to that race.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, do you do the shopping there at Sam's to buy that bacon? Are you the one that goes?
Yeah.
Do you buy the right brand in the 4-pound packs that are
Absolutely
glued together, folded over, glued together?
Yep.
Dude, I love you, man. That's the best bacon.
I've tried buying their box of like restaurant style bacon.
Nope,
but the way I cook it, it doesn't end up as good as what the thicker cut stuff does.
Nope. That bacon is so good. Man, I might see if I got some in the fridge here.
Looks like my phone's about to die on me too.
I'm out. Dang, I ate the last one today.
Dang it.
Yeah, that's the best bacon. You got it.
Yep, that it is. All right. So I'm going to try to get through these thank yous without getting too damn emotional. Just because that's one of the bad traits, I guess you could call it, that I learned from Tim is you got to put your heart into stuff. And that's what I want to be remembered for, just like he was. So to start off with, there's one person we all need to thank for what we have. And that's God. Without him, none of us can do what we love to do, what we want to do, what we try to do. And then he also puts the right people in touch with you to help you get through stuff that you need help with. And we lost Tim a couple of years ago. Good friend of mine, David Gott. He said, I didn't know Tim very well, but I do know that God always wins. And that has stuck with me for a long time. And, it helped as much as it hurts. It helps at the same time that he's got a better plan and, we get what we deserve. So if you don't think you're getting what you deserve, maybe you're not trying hard enough. I heard a deal one time. It says, God doesn't help a person digging a hole if he's leaning on the shovel. He'll help you if you're actually digging, but if you're just leaning on the shovel, you're not doing your part. He's going to help you. He's not going to do it for you. So I try to use that concept in everything that I do, whether it's work, home, family, any of that stuff. If you put in the effort, then he's going to help you get what you deserve. So without him, none of us could be able to do what we do. Then the next below her, even though I think, Gary, your wife said a while ago that I needed to thank my wife first, but that this is about the only time she's second.
Right.
So my wife ranks up there. She keeps my head on straight a lot of times, even though I argue with her a lot when she tells me not to do something, kind of like driving or this or that. And my brothers, and they've been behind me. They always want to know what's going on with the race and stuff. So family is a big part of that. And over the last year or so, my mom and dad have gotten more asking questions about where we're going, how things are going. So that always helps out too. As far as the racing side of things, I couldn't be where I'm at today without Matt and Anita Zimmerman's support, because they've given me resources to be able to deal with people in this industry and learn from them and ask them for advice and get parts from them. And that's made my life better, in the 11 or 12 years, whatever it is, since I've, started racing with those guys. Joe at Hyperactive, super awesome dude. 90% of the times he answers a question when I ask him if he's not too busy or it's not too early in the morning. Paul Hedden and Mike McDaniel, they've been our crew guys, best friends, brothers, whatever you want to call them, for I think 4 years now. And don't and wouldn't want to go racing without those guys. They make it fun and not afraid to put in hard work when it's needed. And it showed when we had to rebuild the car after it took flight down in October, or whenever the heck it was. I don't remember now. February, I think it was. As far as other parts and people, Dave and Daniel Campbell, Design Performance, they've helped me out on a lot of engine combos. They do all the engines for our Pro Mod and this, the old car behind me. Mark at M&M, he's done our transmissions for years. M-Tron, most of you people haven't heard of M-Tron, but that's the EFI stuff that we use. They're from Australia, super awesome guys to deal with. And we put one of their systems on Jim Lockwood's car this year, and it's just awesome stuff. And doesn't take a whole lot of boxes to do one thing. There's been a lot of debate on the internet lately about how many boxes an EFI has to use to make things work. So I try to throw that in there every once in a while too. Jared Thompson Motorsports, he's been doing our manifolds for quite a few years. And I've got a few customers that it's got his stuff on it. And if I can get Shane Mock to get his head out of the dirt, and we'll get one on his car too one of these days. Kevin White at White Safety. I got hooked up with Kevin, it's been 6-8 years ago. Awesome product, awesome turnaround time. Any questions or have any issues with it, he's there to help out on stuff. Donnie Cross and Mike Meyer and the guys up at Bickle, they've answered a lot of questions and helped us get the car fixed up, the few times that we've had to take it back to them. Chris Baton, I think that's how he pronounces his last name. I never have talked to him in person. But he's another one of those Australia guys that is super awesome to work with. He's done a bunch of wiring projects for me. Like when he did the Pro Mod, we sent him some pictures and some layout stuff, and he mails us a harness. He doesn't even see the car and wires it, and everything plugs in and works like it's supposed to. And that's pretty awesome when you have the ability to do that and get the parts and they work like they're supposed to. Somebody else that's kind of come on and started helping us out a little bit this year is Roger Conley up at Hart's Turbo. Got us some of the new kick-ass turbos that we tried out on the Pro Mod back in February. And that's probably what we're going to end up putting on the old car when it goes back together. But just a lot of people like that. I'm sure I forgot some. Paul usually deals with all the Wolverine Facebook stuff, and he's got all those people memorized, but I tried making a list a while ago of everybody, and I hope I didn't forget anybody. But just blessed and honored to be able to help the people out, and they trust me with their lives and their cars when it comes time to working on them or tuning on them. So it's pretty awesome to be in this position.
Well, you've earned it.
Well, thank you, fellas.
Yeah. Julia Brown says, Dana, that's your wife, right? Dana.
Yep.
Dana is the best. You're a lucky man.
Yeah, that she is. I think that kid's pretty lucky too, Julia.
That kid, Devin.
that's Devin's wife, so that's why I said the kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
Hopefully I didn't embarrass anybody tonight. Like I said, this is the first one of those deals that I've done. So.
Oh, you knocked it
great.
Knocked it out of the park.
If you guys get hard up for entertainment some other time, hit me up and we'll see if we can do something again.
No,
for sure. Yes.
And we want to appreciate you. We just want to say right now, we appreciate you coming on tonight and hanging with us and telling your stories and, being yourself. And that was awesome. You did a great job. And the pictures were great. And just hats off to you.
Right on. Hopefully we'll see you guys again sometime soon.
You will.
Absolutely.
Yep. Yes, sir. Well.
Right on.
All right, Mark, we're going to let you go and we're going to wrap this up and we'll be done. So hang on a second. Tracy Werdehausen says chocolate milk and Reese's cup all around. If you know, you know. That sounds good, actually.
Sounds
Yeah,
good.
that was one of Tim's deals. You know, every night after we had a good race, and we'd go in the toter and lay down. And he'd have to have a glass of chocolate milk and a Reese's peanut butter cup. So
Man,
now every time that we go out and do good in the car, I think there's a picture, I think on our Facebook page somewhere, of a gallon of chocolate milk and a whole bunch of Reese's peanut butter cups sitting on the front of the car.
There you go.
yes,
Yeah,
Love it.
that's our go-to when things go right.
that's great.
Awesome.
And the bacon. Got to have the bacon.
And the bacon. Yep.
Man.
For sure.
All right. Man, thank you so much,
right.
Mark. You were awesome. You were outstanding. So
All right. I appreciate the opportunity, fellas.
Have a good night.
you're welcome. Thank you, sir.
All right. Talk to you soon.
See you, Mark.
Bye.
Holy cow, how awesome was that?
Yeah, how awesome was that?
Man,
I mean, my guy,
great stories, dang.
Yeah, I mean, everything, we've known about him just came out right there. He did a great job telling the stories and pictures, and what a send-off too. I mean, that was just,
Yeah.
I think, Foreman said it best. My allergies were acting up a little bit there. I mean,
Right.
geez, that was awesome. But we appreciate everybody coming in and hanging out with us, and everybody that kind of knows Mark there, and we've been racing that team. You can tell a lot about it. From the chair I sat in, I just know him from a distance, talked to him a few times at the track, and got to know him a lot tonight. So,
yeah.
Very
Mark
positive.
says, what an incredible man. So very positive.
Yeah, I agree.
He's awesome to talk to at the track, just like he was here with us.
Yeah.
He's a good dude every which way you look at it.
Yeah. Well, and just like he was talking about, hey, I have an open trailer policy. So if you want to be around me and be around, what I have to offer, we're gonna do it right, and everybody's gonna win together. And so I like that. I like that attitude. Yep. A lot of good energy there.
Yep. What an awesome talk. That was great.
Yeah. All right.
What a fun, man.
You want to bring our sponsors in and thank them and go to our YouTube?
Let's hit the sponsors. Let me catch his comment popped in here real quick. Michael Branch says, have known him for years. Definitely a great guy.
Yeah.
He sure is.
Definitely.
Very talented, man. Real talented guy. Woo.
Oh, yeah.
Let me go back to this. Let's give a shout out to our partners, Mid-America Dragway, Ultra Color Collision Repair, Harry Street Carpet, and Sandlin Iron and Metal Auto Salvage. They are great partners with us in 2024.
Nice.
And this is our YouTube channel, Heads Up Racing Gary and Hot Rod Podcast. This is what the screen looks like if you come across it. This is where you want to hit the subscribe button and listen to us chatter on Sunday nights and have some fun.
Nice.
And have great guests like Mark.
Oh, yeah. Keeps it going. We appreciate the support, everyone. Thanks for all the comments. Thanks for hanging out with us. And we'll keep it going. We going into the summer here, we got a lot of good energy, a lot of good thoughts we're going to do. Probably start doing some giveaways and that sort of thing. So we're just having a good time trying to keep the platform going. So we appreciate everybody hanging out with us.
Darce Law is a great show, guys. Darce is from Wyoming, so he's watching from Wyoming. He's a drag and drive fella that I've known for a while.
Nice.
And, Darce, thanks for watching, or however long you watch. Thanks for being there, and thanks for commenting.
Good stuff.
We're just having a good time being some silly car guys. Mark says, great show, guys. Just keeps getting better. Thanks, Mark.
Appreciate it.
Yep. You're a great listener to have chiming in. Great questions, interacting. Man, thank you so much.
You bet.
Heck yeah. Well, what else you got, Rod? We don't have anything lined up for next week yet, but we'll get on it.
Yeah, we'll get it.
It won't be hard to do. We'll nail something down and put it out there around Wednesday.
Yep. Sounds good. All right, I'm ready. You ready?
I gotta click there and click this. Dun, 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 dun. All right, you ready?
Yep. Nice.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
Right on, man. Great show,
All right.
Rod.
Good job. Good job, Gary.
That was great.
All right. Remember, everyone, get out in your car or get out in your garage and work on something. So have a good week.
Charles Wickham, good stuff. Thank you, Charles. I've known Charles a long time. Rodney, if you know the website bangshift.com.
Oh yeah, you bet.
I've known Charles from Bang Shift. He used to do a lot of pictures and stuff, take photos for them and just photos anyway. I don't know how much he still does photography, but used to take great pictures, go to the racetrack and did some Bang Shift stuff. So, and I believe he's in Colorado now. So we got some out of staters, hanging out with us. So thanks for hanging out, Charles.
Nice.
All right, Rod, you done?
I'm ready.
I'm done. Let's shut her
Good
down.
show, good week. We'll see everybody next week.
All right. Thanks, Rod. Great show.
Thanks, Gary.